Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Deluxe Class Spinister from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. Really cool box art here on the side. Love the look of that. I was very excited to get this. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. I have not really seen any Wave 5 stuff in stores. Is that true? No, that's not true. The two Micromasters I found in store. The Rumble Frenzy and the Decepticon Battle Squad. I found those in store. Everything else, I got these from Hasbro Pulse. I got Ape Face from Amazon, and I'm still waiting on the two Battle Masters and Astro Train. So if you're looking for these, definitely check Hasbro Pulse, but they should start showing up at Targets and stuff pretty soon. Because we're getting really ready for Earthrise at this point. Earthrise should be here in the next 2 months or so. I think Earthrise is already starting to show up in parts of Asia and stuff like that. Because I'm seeing reviews online pop up. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Earthrise. But can't discount the end of Siege. Definitely some good figures here. And I think Spinister is going to be one of them. Here's the robot mode. Here is the vehicle mode. Looking very cool. Now he was a junior Target Master, I think they were called back in the day. The last time we got a junior Target Master was, I think his name's Scoop in Generations, and he came with two little Target Masters, which was really neat. I liked that figure a lot. They did not give him his Target Masters, but they kind of gave him these two guns that resemble his Target Masters. Although, I was talking about it online, and someone pointed out to me that this little guy, his name is Shroot. He came in that Amazon pack that had Skywarp, Voyager Skywarp. Apparently this is supposed to be one of his Target Masters. I didn't know that, like, his two Target Masters are Singe and Hair Splitter. And apparently Hair Splitter, through the annals of time, eventually got renamed into Shroot, probably because they lost the name at some point. I don't really know why or where the name Shroot came from. But apparently this is supposed to be one of his Target Masters. And then I found out Singe is the other Battle Master in Wave 5. So I remember seeing it at Toy Fair. I knew we were getting two guns. I just didn't remember the names at the time. So we actually are getting his Target Masters, which is really cool. So he'll still have these two guns that he comes with, which are neat. But his Target Masters do exist in the Siege line. So you can get them and reunite them, very much like I did with Crosshairs and his Target Master. So very cool packaging. Very excited for this figure. Gonna get him out of the box here, and we're gonna take a closer look. Alright, so here he is out of the packaging. I think he looks really good. I really do. He has kind of a flat back. He doesn't have a lot of kibble, I don't think. He's got the blade up here folded in half for the helicopter, but I don't think it's a problem. I think it looks good. Adds some character to the figure. Doesn't wibble wobble around a lot, which I appreciate. I always think back to that helicopter mold they did to Death and Combiner Wars, where it was a long blade that it had a bottom and then it folded up two places in the middle and made like a U, and it always just hung on the back and went all over the place and it was a mess. This is good. This doesn't have that problem. He looks great. Love the color scheme. Is definitely a late 80s, early 90s color scheme. You have the magenta, the purple, and then this kind of tealish, darker teal blue. I don't know. It reminds me of the color they used for Blur in Titan's Return. But I love it. I'm here for it. He has a little bit of that kind of like worn metal effect paint job that they've been doing in Siege. It's got a little bit here on the forearms and then a little bit here in the thighs, but surprisingly from the knee down, really nothing. I guess because it's the canopy of the helicopter. And I know what you're probably thinking. How does he have two canopies? And because it's definitely not one canopy cut in half. It's two full canopies. You'll see how it works. One of them gets hidden in the vehicle mode. So if you're wondering about that, that is what happens there. But he looks great. I mean, I love this head sculpt. Let's go ahead and punch in on that real quick. I wish the eyes were like a little bigger, just because they're kind of sunken back in there, but they're kind of like a gold color, which is cool. I love the faceplate. I think that looks good. The head crest looks good. Decepticon symbol there looks good. A lot of nice paint applications. He's got these kind of buttons down here in the crotch area, but just nice translucent windows. All the paint applications are good. Very, very nice. Articulation wise, the head can move from side to side. It does have a little bit of up and down ball joint movement as well. Swivel here in the shoulder, out to the side. Bicep swivel. You have kind of two elbow joints, and that's because of how he folds his arm in half. You'll see that later on. The wrist can swivel. Mine's a little tight. This can swivel here at the waist. You can hip forward, hip back, hip out to the side, thighs swivel, and then you have 90 degrees in the knee. You have the ankle tilt that we're used to for pretty much all of Siege. But yeah, he looks good. I really like the look of him. He does have these two, like, I'll call them Target Master Imposter little guns here. They look cool, and I like them. They're very nicely detailed. I like kind of the Gatling gun aspect of this one. And they do have the ability to attach the effect parts to the end. But you can go ahead, you can put them in the hands, you can peg them into the arms, which does look kind of cool. You could peg them into the shoulders up here, literally anywhere where you have the connection ports. And you can connect it on this side or on this side. And then you can see here that there's a connection spot there. So very much like the original Target Master Juniors, you can kind of peg these together. Like that was a big thing they used to do back in the day. The two Target Master Juniors would peg into each other, very similar to this. I don't know why, but they did have them face in different directions. I don't know why. But they do have those options. You can see that there's a peg spot there, a peg spot there, and then a peg there. So that does give you tons of options with these guys. So I like that. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Shroot, which is his actual intended Target Master partner. And we'll transform him up real quick. Peg these feet in. Come on now. There we go. Peg the hands in there. And then we'll go ahead and give him this guy. So this is technically the Target Master he's supposed to have. Or at least an updated version of one of his two Target Master partners. When Singe eventually comes out, or I can find him, I'll give him that as well. But like I was showing earlier, if you wanted to, you could peg him in the top here and still use like both of these. So tons of weapon possibilities with this. And I do think these are cool. I just wish he had come. Like I understand, you know, they can't give you this Deluxe with two Target Masters and still have it be $20. Like I totally get it. And I appreciate that they gave us these as little fill-ins. Like they're saying, look, we know this guy was a Target Master Junior. We can't give you the Target Masters. We'll make them available in other means. But in case you don't feel like picking those up, we'll give you these placeholders, which look good, nicely detailed, tons of functionality. So I'm glad they did give us these. But I do prefer to give him his actual Target Master partner. And I'm looking forward to getting Singe so that I can put him in the other hand and complete this. So I think that looks really, really cool. Alright, transformation for this guy is kind of wild. So you can see here that there's like a long tab slot here on the forearm right above the wrist. And you can see that there's a large tab here on the upper bicep. You're going to use those double elbows to just go ahead and kind of fold his forearm into his shoulder or bicep. And they'll just kind of click into place. And then you can just kind of leave them off to the side for now. Kind of looks like he's doing the chicken dance. You know what I mean? He's at a wedding. Anyway. You're going to come down here. You're going to pull this section. I guess you can go ahead and extend out the blade for now if you want. This is going to, not this section, just this. So pull this away. And that's going to kind of lead that out. Now you're going to pull this straight up. And you're going to see that the chest kind of pops out and rotates around. This is going to click up and snap into place. And then you're going to rotate this above and push the head in there. And now the head is in that back part. Now this isn't going to be 100% flush. Like I know you're going to want to pull that down. But don't. This is as far as it goes. Because I was playing with it for I'm like, this has to go straight, doesn't it? It's like, no, it doesn't. So just stop there. And you're going to want to push this down. It's not time for that yet. So just be patient. You're going to come down here to the legs. You're going to flip open these panels like this. And then you're going to kind of bring the feet down. Now I believe, is it this one? Maybe it's this one. Yeah, you can see right here. Let me get a little bit closer. Whoop. There's a tab on the back of the foot, and then there's a tab slot right there. So this one you can pop up, and it will tab into place, and then you're going to rotate that foot around to the outside. This one you're going to flip up, but there's no tab yet, and you're going to flip it around to here. Then you're going to rotate it around 180, and there's the tab hiding on this side. And there's the tab. So you're going to rotate this one around 180, and then you're going to bring that up. And for some reason, this one's a little bit more difficult. I don't know why. Maybe just because I don't have it lined up right. But I swear this does tab in. There we go. So there we go. So now you have the feet on the inside. They should be facing different directions and both tabbed in. So there you go. That's what you want. Alright, so at this point you're going to see you have the back of the figure. You're going to rotate the waist 90 degrees like this. Okay? You're going to bring this around and turn this like this. And you're going to bring this one and you're going to turn it like, I think like this. This is going to collapse. Hold on, did I do this backwards? Yes, like this. This goes out, this comes up, and then this goes up like that, and then this closes back down. And then you're going to see right inside here, whoop, you can see how there's like a notch. You're going to bring this in, and that's going to kind of click into the notch there. You can see that there is, let me get some light in here, so a notch right there, and then this tab here, so that's going to pop into that notch. So this is where the second canopy hides away underneath the rest of this. So you're going to bring this down, and this should click into place. It's a little weird. It doesn't always work great, I'll be honest. There you go. Kind of clicked in. Now you'll see here that there's a little notch here on the arm, and then there's a tab slot up here. That tab is going to go into that tab slot. This little notch is going to hitch onto this tab here. So you kind of want to bring this in. Make sure that this is in. Oh, you know what? I don't have this 100%. It's a little cockeyed. Probably why it didn't click into place that well before. Okay, so now that's going to slide onto there while this tabs into the side of the body up here. There you go. So you heard that click in and that slid into the tab. Now you can go ahead and bring this piece down. These two tabs are going to tab into there. And that kind of helps hold it together. At this point, you're going to bring this one up, fold it like this, very much like the other one. Then you can close this back up. This will go ahead and tab into the side as well, much like this one did. And then you're going to do the exact same thing where this little, hold on, I don't know why my lighting got weird. This little tab notch here is going to go into that tab while that goes into there. So bring this in, slide that on, tab that in, and then there you go. There is the completed helicopter mode. So we can go in and take a closer look now. Alright, so I'll be the first to admit it's kind of a goofy looking helicopter. I mean, I like the canopy here in the front. The canopy underneath is weird, and then the 2 feet sticking out to the side looks a little goofy. I mean, you're meant to take these and peg them in underneath here. So it has, you know, the big gun cannons on the side. And I will definitely admit that that looks a lot better when you have those attached there. But, you know, still a little goofy looking. But the blades spin very nice. Again, I love the crazy color scheme. You have the nice Decepticon symbol there painted on the tail. That actually spins really nice as well. So it's definitely a goofy little helicopter, but I kind of love it. I'm definitely here for it. If you want to take the Target Masters and peg them underneath, you could certainly do that as well. That looks even goofier. You could peg these on the side here if you wanted to. Anywhere, again, that you have the peg holes. You have 2 here, but they're kind of, the blade would be in the way. So obviously that's not going to work, but if you wanted to do something goofy like that, you certainly could. But yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a weird little helicopter. And you can see that this doesn't stay. I feel like I've played with this for a while, and I don't know why that doesn't 100% click into place. It's not a huge problem. It stays well enough. But I do feel like that should be pushed up a little bit more. But Either way, it's definitely a goofy helicopter, but I kind of love it, so there's that. I really like this guy a lot. I'm really happy that they created this new mold for him. They did a version of this character using that mold from Combiner Wars. I think it was one of the subscription services they did years ago. Um, and I'm glad he finally got his own mold because I got to tell you, that helicopter from Combiner Wars, they did it to death, and I'm tired of it. It wasn't that great of a mold to begin with, and they repainted it as Blades, they repainted it as Vortex, they repainted it as this guy. Anytime you turned around, they were repainting that mold as a helicopter, and I was done with it. It wasn't that great of a mold to begin with. This is a fun helicopter mold. It definitely looks like Spinister. The color scheme is awesome. The articulation's fantastic. And unlike Crosshairs, who was a repaint, and so he just got that hammer gun thing that Ironhide got. I was gonna say Ironhide had, and I got Ironhide. Anyway, so like that weapon was great for Ironhide, but then when they just threw it in with Crosshairs, I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. It's kind of lazy. He's supposed to be a target master. This guy, while they couldn't give you two target masters, they gave you these little placeholders that I think work well. They're nicely molded, they're fun colors, they match the rest of his color scheme. They're also very reminiscent of the color scheme of the target masters the G1 original toy came with. So I think they did a nice job with that. I love that they gave you his target master partners elsewhere in the line. So if you wanted to track them down and reunite them, you certainly can, making this guy a full target master again. I'm really excited for the sudden focus on the target masters because I feel like they kind of got shortchanged when they attempted them back in Titan's Return. We got the 3 Decepticon target masters, and that was kind of it. We never got the Autobot target masters. The fact that we're now going into the junior target masters, I think, is awesome. We had Scoop back in the day, and it was like a random just awesome release that I was very excited about back at the time, and I still like that figure. But I didn't expect to see all the rest of the Autobot Junior Target Masters. But like now, I feel like there's a good chance they will continue because they did the Decepticon Target Masters back in the day. Now they want to do the Autobot Target Masters, and they don't have the Decepticon Target Masters to do over again. So they're diving into the Junior Target Masters. So this gives me hope. I'm hoping we finish out the Junior Headmasters for both Autobot Decepticon. Finish out the Autobot Target Masters. Give me the Decepticon Target Junior Target Masters. Give me the Autobot Junior Target Masters. Obviously after Earthrise, whatever comes next, I'm not sure, but throughout Earthrise and whatever comes next, you're going to need more characters you haven't done to death. And the Junior Autobot and Decepticon Headmasters and the rest of the Autobot and Decepticon Junior Target Masters are definitely something they could dive into, and I'd be very happy to see that. So this is a great toy. I highly recommend it if you're a Transformer fan. I think this guy's definitely worth picking up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.